New layer of security in place at schools in Barrow County, including Appalachia High School. So there is a virtual learning day that's happening right now. A new weapons detection system is being installed on all 3 high school campuses in Barrow County. Appalachia High School is the first one to get this new system today. School board officials unanimously voted on the weapons detectors just last week, and that decision came just one day after a 14-year-old freshman took a gun into the school before being arrested. The school was the site, of course, of a mass shooting that we all remember on September 4th, which killed 2 students and 2 teachers. Well, today, teachers and students are taking that virtual learning day to give workers room to install the new weapons detection system. And parents say it's way past time for this change.
In my mind, should have been step one from the beginning. Since September, this should have been already in place, realistically. There are several students who watched people lose their life, so it's definitely impacted them for the rest of their lives, and it was discouraging, I think, to the most of them that I had spoke to that nothing was happening.
And as of now, the plan is for students to come back to campus tomorrow. The school district asking kids to arrive 15 minutes early just to make sure that everything goes smoothly on the first day. And, just to be patient and allow staff a little bit of time to get familiar with the new weapons detection system that is now being put into place. Now, school security really top of the agenda in the 2025 legislative session, which kicks off today. But it's not the only hot button topic that is being discussed as this legislative session begins. Republicans still do hold the majority in the House and Senate as each party comes in with clear goals. Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond has more from the state capitol.
Monday kicked off the 40-day legislative session here at the state capitol, where safety, education, and the economy are top of mind for many of the lawmakers inside. Georgia lawmakers filed into the state capitol Monday morning to begin the 2025 legislative session, starting off by swearing in 18 new House members and 4 new senators.
So help me God.
And re-electing Republican John Burns as House Speaker.
It's a great day to be in Georgia, but even a greater day to be a Georgian.
With a $16 billion surplus, health care, the economy, and education are top of mind for both Democrats and Republicans, though each party's proposals will look different. Mental health programs, additional funding for Georgia's prison system, codifying protections for IVF, and restrictions to transgender participation in girls' sports are among Republicans' top priorities, along with another year of income tax rebates. Democrats plan to push for a full expansion of Medicaid. Following the Appalachia High School shooting, Democrats will also attempt to push through a mandatory safe storage gun law, something Claudia Fruin with Gun Owners for Safety supports.
The parents are going to understand the consequences, and everybody's going to do a better job. And when everybody does a better job, we're all going to be safer.
While Burns says he supports school safety, he says that's where he draws the line.
Will not impede the rights, Second Amendment rights of Georgians.
We'll also see lawmakers push to allocate more funding for Hurricane Helene cleanup, specifically more money to help clean up downed timber. And of course, they'll also be working to pass the annual budget. From the state capitol, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
And after that big winter storm, MARTA has been slowly returning services back to normal. They've been watching road conditions to make sure buses can safely navigate the streets. All bus routes except Route 188 and 823 have now resumed as normal. Full weekday service began just this morning. Rail, streetcar, mobility services all operating on normal schedules as well. And of course, for air travelers, a big relief, all operations back to normal at the world's busiest airport. So yeah, Hartsfield-Jackson back up to speed after that winter storm. Delays and cancellations certainly have dropped dramatically. So there were a few dozen delays and a few cancellations earlier today, but obviously that's not much compared to the hundreds of cancellations and delays on Friday and Saturday. But again, all the runways are operational, all the roads to the airport clear. Airport officials do say departures could be delayed slightly due to aircraft de-icing, and also just a little bit of a backup because of what happened, Saturday and Friday at the airport. So many people had to wait several hours just to get through security and those delays largely blamed on the full ground stops that happened during the snow on Friday. And talking about this wintry weather that we've experienced, winter certainly far from over, but some methods of heating your home could be dangerous, maybe even deadly. Atlanta News First investigative reporter Anastasia Olmos has more on what you need to know about carbon monoxide safety.
As we experience these power outages, more people are going to start looking for alternative ways to heat their homes, which means that they may be creating a dangerous environment with carbon monoxide. The National Weather Service says that it's actually the leading cause of death after a storm. You might remember back in 2021 in Texas, after a winter storm and extended power outages, many people turned to alternative ways to cook and heat their homes, leading to 17 deaths and 1,400 hospitalizations due to carbon monoxide poisoning. It comes from combustion fumes produced in gasoline engines, stoves, generators, and even burning charcoal or wood. Here's what you need to know if power should go out. Never use a generator, pressure washer, or any gasoline-powered engine inside your home. Use an extension cord that is more than 20 feet long to keep the generator away from your house. Have a battery-powered carbon monoxide detector. Keep vents free of debris. Never use a charcoal grill, lantern, or portable camping stove inside your home or a camper. Never leave the motor running with a vehicle parked in an enclosed environment such as your garage. Now, common symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning are nausea, confusion, headache, and dizziness. If you think that you may have carbon monoxide poisoning, you should seek medical attention right away. In Midtown, I'm Anastasia Olmos. Atlanta News First investigates.
And this wintry weather has also had a big impact on farms across the state. With pastures covered in snow and ice, farm animals spending more time inside of barns, and that means more supplies like hay and shavings being used, which means big business for feed stores, farm feed stores. A lot of them actually now selling out. Here's more. Fields of green now blanketed in white.
Whatever grass is out there right now is going to be covered by snow and ice.
But when farm animals can't graze on grass, hey, there's hay.
A lot of people who are trying to get some extra protein in their horse, they will do an alfalfa hay.
Dustin Horsley at North Fulton Feed and Seed says the snow has meant big business from farm owners.
With this weather, we're going through a lot more of our farm supplies. So we've gotten several shipments this week to just restock.
Here at Twin Oaks Equestrian in Milton, the horses are consuming much more hay than normal.
With it being wintertime, having hay in there helps keep them a little bit warmer. So that's one reason why we do recommend forage over anything else.
And staying in stalls means more cleaning and also more shavings.
Shavings, a lot of people use it for comfort for their animal in their barn. So you want to have something in there, and also it's a lot easier to clean up.
It's why feed stores have been selling out of these farm favorites.
Hay, shavings, feed, all that stuff has been flying out of here.
Quarter Horse Cross Malibu seems to savor these flavors.
You got to have some type of forage for them. They're mainly forage-based animals.
So it's a hay buffet until she's off to greener pastures.
Horses especially love to have something to eat all the time. It helps keep them warm, having something to eat.
And in all this wintry weather, some drivers involved in accidents due to the snow and icy roads might have to wait in line for repairs. Collision shops fill up after pretty much every major weather event. Atlanta News First consumer investigative reporter Better Call Harry is here to help you find the right shop.
I've used some good body shops and some really, really bad ones. Years ago, I remember when a shop put clear coat over the old paint on my hood and it felt like sandpaper. So I had to argue with the manager that I was the customer and not the insurance company. It is really difficult for me to identify one particular shop because you don't know which technician will repair your car, but you can ask a few questions like how many techs do you have on staff and who processes the claims? Do you have a department to do that? Ask them how long it will take for parts. The good shops have a process, and usually you can tell by listening to what other customers are saying in the waiting room. I look for shops that have been in business for years and work well with your insurer. If the shop has the same owner for 10 years and stable staffing, that's what you want. And ask about parts again. Is it aftermarket or original manufacturing? And you notice I haven't talked a lot about reviews because I've changed my mind about them. There are too many fake reviews, both positive and some negative, and I think we all need to go old school. Ask your insurer for an approved list near you, and ask people you know who go to that actual shop. I once had an owner tell me at a shop that he was weeks behind because of a staffing shortage after COVID. I decided to go someplace else, but now he's back up to staff and I'll use them again. Use those tips and hopefully you will make the right repair and get it done soon. I'm Better Call Harry, Atlanta News First.
And more on all these top stories on AtlantaNewsFirst.com and our free mobile news app. Now back to Local News Live.